And of course, we are now live. So thank you everybody for joining Motovloggers Behaving Badly, Tuesday's bit of debauchery online. So before we went live, I was just telling everybody that my vape died. So I got another one. Bigger is better, baby. At least that's what they say about me. So we're going to go down the line and get everybody to say a big old hello to the folks watching at home, and we will start off with the working man himself. Hey, Weggy, want to say hi to the folks at home?
Yeah. Hello, baby.
That should be your normal intro. That should totally be your normal intro. All right. And of course, I have to be silly and do this because the next person we want to hear from is Mr. Van Schwarzenegger. Hello, Mr. Van Schwarzenegger. Guten Tag.
Hello, everybody from Germany. It's fucking cold here.
Oh, man. Just grab a sausage, it will warm you right up. All right, Suffolk Andy and his cloud.
Hello, everybody.
Look like you're ready for the beach.
It's my rapist top. Yeah, if I go rape and I always wear this.
All right.
I can see it now.
Make sure to look out for that top.
You see this top coming your way, boys? Fucking run.
Mr. Skeggy Cruiser.
How did you want us to do it? Hello.
Oh man, priceless, priceless. Too much fun. All right, my personal mentor, Mr. B.
Nice that you look up to him, Bobby.
Mostly when I'm on my knees. Oh, damn, I just said that. All right, Mr. B, do you have sound?
No. Always.
Funny ringing in his ear.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
No, all right.
His universal translator's broken down.
Hey, it's gone quiet since our filtering video.
Huh? I gotta put up my.
He can't hear you.
I gotta put my video soon. In fact, Thursday I think I'm gonna put up my lane splitting video since I don't tend to lane split very often. I think it's very interesting. Alrighty, so Mr. B, we're gonna come back your way, so see if the sound comes back. I'm going to head over to Chris Peach.
Hello, everybody. And can I just start the night off by saying that this stuff is incredibly expensive. It cost me 25p a can.
Christ, man. I've seen you
Very,
coming.
very expensive stuff. Very, very expensive.
Is it at least any good?
It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. I buy it because it tastes good, not because it's cheap.
Lies. Lies, lies from tiny eyes.
I figure for me, if it's going to be expensive, it better be damn good. I mean, there better be boobs on the side of the bottle or something, man, because...
Oh, yeah.
You know, if I can't get off cheap, then I'll just get off myself.
Steady, steady.
Spanish food. Spanish food.
I'm just sitting here having a little bit of Bishop's finger.
I didn't know you were an old boy.
Whatever floats your boat, you know.
Well, okay. I don't know who farted, but damn.
Damn.
All right, so Mr. B is probably working out his issues there with the computer. So we'll run back down the line and see if people have news for this past week. And since we ended off with Chris Peach, why don't we start with you? What do you think, Chris? Any news for this week?
There was something. No, I was looking at YouTube. There was something on YouTube that I thought, oh, that'd be great to bring up in the Hangout, and I completely forgot what it is now. Come back to me.
All right, we'll come back to you. Skeggy.
Nothing that comes to mind. Not off the top of my head. No, there's plenty of ride outs I want to go on this coming month, but everything seems to come on the 2-week period. That it's like the weekend, the week, and then the following weekend, and I cannot get away, so I've got no choice. Everything seems to be happening around about the sort of 7th to the 14th of June, ride out wise, and I can't do them. All upset, but no topics either.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm actually hoping to do a little bit of something in June myself. Thinking about putting together a little Motovlogger barbecue, and try to get some folks in the area or who just feel like coming to the area, just hang out with us. Yeah, talk about vlogging, talk about bikes, talk about silliness. Bring the family. I'll bring some frisbees. Yeah. Have some ribs. All right. Well, we hope we get the chance to get on some of those ride-outs because, that's what we do. We ride. I mean, all right. And it looked like Chris was giving me the signal that he actually had the topic or the news. Right? So what do you think, Chris?
It was more of a topic. It's something that struck me. Well, it's been throwing up in my face the last few days. Google Chrome are blocking more and more extensions these days, including the extension necessary for running Hangouts. Right? There's a list of them on the Google Chrome help site, which are actually being blocked. What's kind of in my mind is why the frack would Google block extensions that allow them to utilize their own features? If anybody has an answer for that, please tell me.
Because they're run by massive idiots. There you go. That's the only answer I can give you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what? We'll actually run through that because the hangout. I mean, that's what we do. We're hanging out.
Yeah, and also, will it get to the point where we won't be able to use the Google Plus Hangouts anymore? Will we have to do like Skype or use some other kind of video sharing feature to be able to do the Hangouts?
We'll probably end up having to pay for everything.
Probably.
You have to pay for YouTube, you have to pay for this, you'll have to pay for that, like pay television.
Yeah, well, they're going to lose a whole lot of people.
It's odd that game. Before you know it, we'll all be riding out somewhere and meeting up in a pub and having a drink together.
Yeah.
God forbid. Eh?
Oh, but thought.
I don't know how the missus would feel about me riding down to the pub at 10 o'clock at night.
I
We'll
don't know.
see you next week.
It's generally the ride back she'd be worried about, I should have thought.
Yeah.
I don't fancy right down the pub if Andy in that vest.
I don't know how the missus would feel about me riding my bike across the Atlantic Ocean to meet up with you guys.
Sure.
Messy.
I think as the crow flies, Bobby, you're actually closer to him than I am, aren't you?
Well, let's see. I'm in New York. You're in Gibraltar. Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're actually closer to the UK than I am as the crow flies. In a straight line.
The crows get shot down over France anyway, Chris, they need to.
All right. So let's see. Mr. B is back. Let's see if we can get a hello and maybe some news from Mr. B.
Howdy, King. Yeah, oh man. Oh, do you want news? News. Now, some people might know this already, but the Akrapovic's on.
Yes.
And that's kind of the news, really. I know someone's going to want to bring up my, my video. That was hilarious. I see 08 Ride's already commented about maybe wanting to get past whilst filtering, but yeah, so that was interesting. The video was all about just trying to get past a biker that didn't want to move over, and everyone was more interested in my filtering. But there we go. So yeah, that's my news. I've got to do a response video now.
All right, cool. Cool. I've still got some catching up to do, so I got to make sure that I check that out.
I did watch that one. He was being a bit of a dick, wasn't he?
Well, that's why I got to do a response video. I can't put into text what I want to say.
Well, he could see him in the mirrors, and he was constantly blocking her. You could see,
Yeah.
you could see it.
Yeah, I know, but
I would have shot past him, and given him the stinky finger, you bastard,
yeah.
I tell you what, Andy, I have to say, after I read the other comments, after I put my own comment up, and I have to say I felt relieved because I was trying to be really political about it. I was trying not to be too.
No.
I think we all
And then
were.
I read the other comments and I've gone, oh, I feel better now.
I'll tell you one thing. One thing I do enjoy is people being honest. I don't want anyone to suck up to me, and I think you know that anyway. And that's why you've been honest in your comments, and that's perfect.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think that's better to be honest with somebody, then you can sort of talk about it afterwards, can't you?
Absolutely. I did a video actually as a topic. Actually, maybe not my video that I did though, but a topic in talking to or answering or putting comments against people. I like people to be honest because I put a controversial video up, which I thought was controversial last year. And everyone was like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, well, hang on, you meant to say, no, it's not okay, so I could explain, but no one did. No one's gussy. I want people to be honest, so there we go. I'm honest when you put your comments in, or you're too frightened to say to someone, you're a dick.
I suppose really the fact that you sub to somebody, and especially the fact that you're classed as mates anyway on the hangouts and meets and God knows what, you still got to be quite frank about things and honest. If you don't believe that somebody's done something right from your particular point of view, then obviously talk about it. Don't sort of try and sweep it under the carpet and bullshit about it. Just come straight out with it, and regardless of what other people think. If you've got a comment to make it.
Try not to grow up there is what you're saying, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Otherwise, you got to. Sorry, Bobby. I don't want to sidetrack it already, but I mean, maybe it's a topic about being honest with people, because sometimes I'll put something out there to get a reaction so that I can discuss why. But if no one reacts, then the world's going to be a really dull place, isn't it?
Am I getting deja vu from Thursday night?
We'll have to get Kevin to an apology video soon.
Alrighty. Well, yeah.
Have you seen Skeggy's unboxing? What he's got on his bike there?
I've seen Skeggy's sword.
Yeah. What?
That didn't sound very good, did it?
I tell you what, I
information.
want an anti-passenger device like Skeggy's got.
Yes.
Did somebody mention a lack of Tampax on there or something?
Yeah, that was me.
Condoms as well. You're missing condoms, mate. Got some, Well, hopefully I'm going to make one this week. It's a bit of a challenge there. Sort of.
What, you're going to make a condom?
No, I've always got condoms with me.
All right. Well, look, we've already got the Harley Davidson brand colostomy bags. We might as well do like Harley Davidson branded condoms. They'll be like studded black leather.
Yeah, they'll definitely be lumpy.
I would imagine they'd be black leather and studded, won't they?
Yep, black leather and studded, chrome studded.
Yeah.
If it comes to the States, though, Bobby, like everything else, you'll have to put a disclaimer on them.
Kawasaki condoms,
Lime green, won't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you got your slicks, your mediums, and your wet tread.
Let's just say they're not four-stroke.
Nobblies for the off-road.
Nobblies for the ladies.
Where the brand stuff is,
Novel is for green laning.
I'd rather just make her take a shower.
It's horrible. Andy, mate, never mention green laning in that context again.
Oh my god. All right, so we've got you already, Scuggy, right? So the next for news would be Suffolk Andy.
Not a lot. I don't know if any of you boys have had the same problem I've had with YouTube on the commentary section. You know, when that all comes through, you have to click over and go under community, then that will bring up all your comments in line as they come in. Mine, for some reason, have gone haywire. They're not coming in. You know, when they come in, they're all over the place. So I'm not really
mine
sure.
does that as well.
Yours done that, but I never used to do that till about 2 days ago.
Right, I don't use that. I don't use that at all, Andy. When I get the notifications in my email, because I use Gmail anyway, I get notifications coming in, and I just scroll through. If I posted a video one a day, and I mean sometimes you might get a comment from the previous day's video, but mostly it's all on the same one. So I just go to the video page itself, and I sort them by the newest, and I scroll through them.
Mm. The trouble with when you've got loads of vlogs up, and then somebody sort of sends you a comment on a vlog that say you've done 3 or 4 weeks ago, in the commentary bit will come on top, so you know you can just work down your line and do your replies. But for some reason, I don't know why, mine have just gone all higgledy-piggledy and mixed up, and I can't seem to work out what the fuck's going on with it. So I didn't know if YouTube had come and done one of their wonderful fuck-up things that they usually do, you know.
No, it is, as you say, Andy, completely fucked up. I always use that tool because I can't comment every day. I kind of like comment every other day or something like that whenever I get a chance.
Same as me.
And then I run through them all. But now I go there and it's like lucky dip. I got comments from like a year ago at the top, and it's like I've already responded to that as well. And so it's an absolute nightmare now. I've got people. I see something on my Gmail saying like I like your review of whichever bike it was, or thanks for that tip on the suspension or the chain or whatever. And I can't find it now. I can't find the bloody comments. I've got to go through them. It's just a nightmare. So hopefully I'll fix it soon.
Oh, you reckon that's their end then, Andy?
Absolutely, yeah. It's just it's a random lucky dip. Every time I go there, I get old comments. I don't see any new ones.
More than likely, mate. They have been playing around with the video manager and the analytics again. There's a couple of new things that have come up in the last month or so. And I've noticed that the drop-down bar on the left has changed. That used to sweep over automatically, and now they've fixed it, so you've got to turn it on or off. That's happened in the last few days. So it probably is them dicking around with it as usual.
I have to say, in that as well, Andy, I think the content creators get the raw end of the stick when it comes to YouTube, because we always seem to be the last people that get the tools that we need to be able to put content out and respond to people. And it seems more concerned about putting adverts out or whatever it is they want to do rather than helping the people that make the content. I mean, on a mobile device, trying to get to your comments is almost impossible, I find it. You see them for a split second and they disappear. It's just difficult for content providers to put comments back to people.
I think there's something in beta that fixes that, mate, at the moment. It's not been released yet, but there's something coming out for that.
Well, as for subjects on motorbikes, I just thought, being you know, it's coming up for the summer and we're all going out on trips and stuff like that. Just a quickie, really. I didn't know what you boys thought about what sort of luggage. Do you like hard luggage or do you like soft luggage? E-bikes.
I like it hard.
We gotta love it hard. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to take a page from Mr. B. I'm actually going to write these down. So let's see. We've got Google Tools, blocked by Chrome, and soft or hard luggage. Sweet. So we'll definitely get to those.
Hey, don't forget about being honest to your...
Actually, that's a given. That's a given. I've got that one. All right. So, yeah, we've got those three. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Suffolk Andy. And, of course, there is Mr. Van Sportsenata.
Hey.
Any news for the week?
No, you can't get on the bike. It's still horrible weather. It's been raining all week. It's going to rain all this week as well. So.
Wow, dude. Yeah, I'll ride in the rain. I don't care.
No, it's pretty miserable here. So you know, it's only in the evenings now. It's dropping off to about 6 degrees in the evening, so it's not very warm. Daytime, it's been a bugger all week. It's been out on the push bike really. So.
Well, hopefully it'll get better and it doesn't come over here, but it'll get better.
Yeah, so you can have some of your work too.
And how about you, Weggy? You sitting there looking all smart there.
No, I'm just listening to that fucking alarm. Excuse me a minute.
Like, it's me. Gotta go.
What it is, we've got the front of the warehouse. We've got a security device that you probably heard it in the background. A screaming alarm. Everybody who comes through the front warehouse doors and goes off. Which is a pain in the arse, really, and there's a little door that keeps coming back here as well. That's all it is, so people are coming in and out of the warehouse. But anyway, getting back to topics, absolutely no topics whatsoever. I think you got enough there, Bobby, for tonight. News from myself, I finally got my ZX12R.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. We'll pick that up Sunday. I had to go down to Southampton from Ipswich. My wife's got a really bad back at the moment, so she couldn't give me a lift in the car, so I ended up getting a taxi. 5 o'clock Sunday morning. Got a national coach from Ipswich bus station, and it took 6 hours. 6 hours to get from Suffolk to Southampton.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, and then I obviously arranged for the lad who was selling me the bike to pick me up from Southampton. And to run a sort of couple of 3 miles. Spent an hour with the lad having a good look over the bike, just riding this out and the other, and it's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And that looked a minter. It really is mint. And what really pissed me off is the fact I knew it was going to rain at some point, but I actually did 122 miles in driving rain. So when I got back, to be quite honest with you, with a little bit of luggage on me back as well, I was ready to just sit there and recover.
Damn, dude. No, it looks like we lost our sound, dude.
Really pleased with it.
Yep. Alright, there we go.
Alright, you?
No, he's gone.
Hello?
Yep, we were losing your sound. Your sound was going in and out. But I did get the fact that you were pleased with it.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's absolutely fantastic. Well, look, look, really for the right bike. I've looked at quite a few, and other mates look at bikes for me, and it was just a case of patience. Patience is a virtue, isn't it? Can you hear me okay?
No, I think we lost Wiggy. We lost Wiggy's sound.
No, I could hear him then.
Could you? I couldn't.
No. It's freezing up there. So.
Oh, man.
What's going on? How many of you lads actually wear earplugs?
You're what? I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. I don't wear earplugs.
Sorry?
No, when you're riding a bike, not.
No, I don't bother.
No.
No, never wore them in my life.
I do. Long trips.
I do, because the high speed autobahn, without earplugs. Because I have to say, I watched a video about the tinnitus because I've got it in my left ear as well. But that was from an explosion. And that's why ever since I've always worn earplugs. It does help on the bike because especially high speed, you get whizzing.
Yeah. Can you?
If you do about an hour or 2 hours on the bike, your head's just going to drop off. Your ears just fall off.
Can you?
You don't wear earplugs.
I just got used to it. I just don't bother now, no matter how many miles I do. Never wore them. I did actually try a pair about a year ago. I stuck them in. I went down the A14 at high speed and done about 10 miles, stopped, took them out of my ears, threw them in the gutter and fucking drove off. I fucking hated them. I just didn't like that I couldn't hear enough, if you know what I mean. I didn't like it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, mate.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm obviously on 3G, mate, at the moment on my mobile, so let's break it up.
So there's a big difference between your sports bike exhaust tone droning away in your ear compared to like a cruiser rumbling away in your ear. It's sometimes sounds louder, but it seems less affected to your ears,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never bothered with them because personally, I mean, you know, you get the microphone earpod things that you listen to music on or whatever. I mean, I can't have them in for too long because they just start to irritate me. And if I'm on the bike, the last thing I want is something in my ears distracting me from my riding.
Let me see me. I'll get you your phone once. I can't ride with that anymore. If I put my helmet on and ride away, I know straight away. Oh, stop! Get off! In your earplugs.
I don't think earplugs are actually for the to stop the sound of your bike as such, just to stop the sound of the wind in your helmet.
It's that high-pitched noise all the time. Yeah.
Now the bike side of engine-wise, or on the Harley, or his heads, that doesn't bother me in the slightest. But I should imagine that it would stop some of that air noise coming through your helmet, which is I find more distracting than anything.
It's the wind noise. It's the wind noise from your helmet.
Yeah.
I have to say, when I was riding earlier, I used to use the same earplugs that I used to use on stage, which were these guys, the Sonic 2s, and they have this little barrel on the inside that it basically takes away all the dangerous frequencies and brings everything down, but you can still hear everything crisp and clear. But after a while, I got my SMH10 and I put the little speakers on the inside. I guess it changed the shape on the inside of the helmet, and I didn't have too much of that, wind noise problem building up around my ears anymore because I guess there was less space. So I didn't bother with the earplugs anymore.
No. Am I fairly audible now?
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say about earplugs. It's one thing I can say. Obviously, you try and get the best.
You still trying to speak to us?
You have to do sign language soon, will it?
You can't hear me.
Wait, I can hear you. Wait.
I can hear every time.
No, I can't hear him at all.
I can't hear him at all.
Very strange. So would have been
I'll try and carry on. Well, you're talking about the earplugs. I agree with Andy and the fact that when you're riding, you like to be able to hear as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of trouble tonight when he's sad, isn't it?
At the same time, I think obviously you try and get the best fitting helmet, and that's not just about comfort around your head and your ears and your cheeks and everything. It's about obviously looking at reviews and trying to sort of base your purchase on a helmet that's got good reviews for a certain quietness with wind noise. And I, to be quite honest, like yourselves, I've had a few good helmets in the past, none of which have really blocked out any real wind noise at a good speed. A steady 70 mile an hour. I mean, admittedly, if you've got a good fed bike, it's going to make a lot of difference. Riding naked bikes is obviously a completely different bag of nails. But I did notice that when I was coming back from Southampton, the wind noise was quite high, and I've got this new Shark S700 helmet, and it's a lovely fit. It's nice and tight, and it's got the right feel around the ears, but there was a fair amount of wind noise. I did think about sticking in some sort of earplug, or just a couple of balls of cotton wool. But to be quite honest with you, I don't know. It's to me part of the safety thing with motorcycles is about, as a rider, it's about being able to hear everything around you.
You gone there?
It's not just about what you can see; it's about what you can hear.
Yeah. Sound is one of the most important safety features in both directions.
Absolutely.
Everybody hears this loud pipe save lives. It does, because people will hear you before they see you. But by the same token, on the bike, you got to hear too.
Absolutely. Going back to Andy. I mean, we talked about tinnitus. I've suffered that for years and years and years, and the reason being is from when I was an early teen, I was always playing hard.
Not much sound coming through here today. So.
I was always playing heavy music, loud in headphones as well as speakers. And I played that for years and years and years like that. And then when I became a semi-professional drummer in heavy metal and rock bands for a good sort of 10 or 12 years, I didn't wear any headphones at all. Or earplugs. The only headphones I ever wore was when we did studio work. And I know, obviously, after so many hundreds of gigs where you're playing at silly decibels, you know, especially with me being a drummer and the cymbals, eventually it did get to my ears and it did take off the high end of me hearing. So yeah, when I lay down at night, and it could be, or if it's quiet in the room downstairs or quiet anywhere, I can hear a continual ringing in both ears. It doesn't bother me because I'm used to it, but it's a continual ringing all the time. Yeah, and if you think about it, if you're going at a certain speed, and we all know this, when you're going at a certain speed and the wind noise is high, the decibel level of wind going into your helmet is very, very high. Yeah. So I mean, from that perspective, if need be, then you know, go ahead and wear some sort of earplug that can at least detract from some of that volume of wind going into your ears.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we got that. I think, I don't know if Gaz is there right now.
Let's keep down there.
Oh. All right. So yeah, Gaz had gotten called out. Alrighty. So before we move any further.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I've been called out. I'll have to go. Right.
Oh, okay. There you go.
See you later. Bye. Goodbye.
Dear, oh dear.
Can you stick around, or do you have to go?
I've got to go. Sorry.
Oh man. All right. Well, at least we got to see your lovely face.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Happy to.
See you later. Sorry I couldn't stick around.
Oh,
Yeah. No problem.
No worries on that, guys.
All right, guys.
right.
See ya.
That's quick.
So before we go any further, I am actually going to pretend that I'm a good host and hit the Q&A. I have absolutely no idea what came in what order because I was paying too much attention to what was being said. So, let's see. We'll go with O2 Big Kev, who says, "Good morning, chaps."
Morning, Kev.
Morning. Who Am I UK1 says, "Yes, Mr. B," with a winky face. I have no idea what that means, but yes, Mr. B.
Yes.
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 All right, I'm gonna.
Yes, we can.
I'm gonna get to the big ones in a moment, but
Let's be honest.
smaller ones here. Let's see. Susnet555 says, "Even all, try not to make me laugh too much. Crazy fools." By the way, pronounce it Susnet. Ta. Haha.
Susnet.
Susnet. Susnet.
Sussed out.
What's up, Sis? All right. One of these days, you're gonna have to get on here and just give us a lesson in pronouncing the name, because we're not that bright. We ride motorcycles. I mean, come on, really? Good. Okay, let's see. Who Am I UK1? Have a good one. I hope to join later if there is room. Okay. Yep, you are totally welcome, sir, and you know exactly where to find the link. He also says, "I have an idea. Do the voice and the vid before you go live. Ha ha ha."
I think he's talking about Mr. B when he put that comment up.
Yeah. All right. Now we get to the big one. JSoto77 says, "I use JVC marshmallows and they double up as earplugs and something to listen to the sat nav." Okay, that makes sense. Awesome earbuds and very cheap, very comfortable. 3 hours with them on a trip to Wales and no issue. All right, yeah, there are some of those things that you can use for that issue, but I think for me, I like to have a little space between whatever sound is coming through. Like sometimes I'll listen to music while I'm riding, but I want to have a space for listening to outside noise so that I'm very alert to what's going on. I mean, I don't know if you guys have the same issue, but I don't like to plug my.
I only have the you know the actual little speakers that go in your helmet.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, so you know that way you can still hear everything else anyway. But as for the marshmallows, I prefer the princess ones because they taste bloody gorgeous.
Yeah. I have to say though, you know, shove the old marshmallow idea. Let's go back to the old Honda Goldwing system where you had the stereo speakers and the fairing.
It's bloody his face.
Well, there are a lot of bikes that have that now, so I don't know. That I've got stereo speakers on my handlebars, and I like them when I'm doing long trips and, you know, high speed traffic. Other than that, I don't know. I tend to prefer to just listen to the sound of my engine usually. You know, I talk to my bike a lot.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, nice to look after her. She look after you.
Yeah, exactly. The 08 Ride says earplugs. I use mine regularly on rides more than half an hour, and I can hear everything. It just takes away the wind noise. I don't use the cheapo bits of foam. They remind me of when I worked in a factory. Windshields also put more wind up to your helmet. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I think for me, my windshield, I never used to like windshields until I got one, and then I realized, holy shit, this is actually good. Yeah, windshields do a lot for me in terms of blocking a lot of that wind hitting my face, so I don't get too much wind noise there either.
On a cruiser, they put the rider in a bubble. Like on a cruiser, you get like a bubble of air form over you.
Yeah.
Whereas on a sports bike, you know, you only get that when you're really tucked in.
Yeah. All right, and 08 Ride also says, hi all, topic, just sold my Vespa on eBay. Sorry, Vespa. All right, just sold my Vespa on eBay to a buyer from Austria. He's
Waxing.
Okay, that's one. I guess that one's over there for you guys. But
it needs a bank transfer, Bobby.
Okay. Hey, for me, it's just like transfer. That's all we get over here. All right, so he's baxing money over and sending some couriers from Slovenia or Hungary.
Yeah, you guys would call it a wire transfer, Bobby. It's
right.
Wire transfer.
Yep, that's what I'm used to.
What I do with that system is every time somebody transfers money into my account, I instantly change accounts that it's in, take the money out and put it in another account, make sure they don't get it back.
Yeah.
Purely because I'm so paranoid about being scammed. You know what I mean? Finding out that the money never actually went in the first place.
Yeah.
Whereas if you can't actually transfer it to another account if it hasn't properly cleared, you see.
Also, Slovenia and Hungary, I don't know.
Yeah.
One in Slovenia or Hungary want to buy your Vespa. I mean, my understanding is that you're in the UK. If I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong, sorry. But it sounds a bit dodgy to me.
Doesn't sound good, does it?
No.
Well, I don't understand why they have to mention the countries and stuff. I mean, basically, if someone buys your bike, they say, right, I'll send you the money and I'll put it in your bank account and I'll send someone to pick it up. You don't say, oh, and by the way, they're going to be coming from Slovenia or whatever. It'd be like...
Saying that, a guy from Sweden bought my Chevy Suburban. And, you know, he travelled down all the way with a bloody trailer on the back to come and fetch it.
Yeah, he travelled down, but that's different to, hi there, my name is Prince Digon. I email you from Royal Sovereign State of Hungary in Slovenia and seek to make important business transactions. I mean, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it?
It sounds that way. I'm more aware of the Western money transfers than anything else, Western Union money transfers, but
doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good, does it?
No.
The only way
Back off of that one.
It's good old solid cash in the hand, mate.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or at least PayPal. PayPal that shit, man.
yeah, PayPal's covered you.
Yeah, and Chris, you touched on it. Exactly. You should. I don't know if you've seen my video "Break the Chain" about letters and stuff like that. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things ever. It's like, oh, I'm a dispossessed prince from, and I need to send you $600 million, $300 million of which you can keep. Just give me your bank account information. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no problem.
You're not in rotate, seriously.
What gets me though, people do it, you know?
Right, lads, I've got some
Stupid.
I've got some good lads.
I got some schmucks around here.
You can't. What can you do if someone's that stupid? What can you do? It's their own fault.
Yeah, but then they get whine and complain about it, and then
What? I'm so stupid.
Yeah, but then you start making all these stupid regulations to protect people from it, which basically takes away all of our other freedoms because it's all this crap that you have to go through just to make sure it doesn't happen. Which, if idiots out there weren't doing this in the first place, we would have to go through all this stupid shit.
I know.
Why wouldn't they buy a Vespa in Hungary or out of fucking Mongolia, wherever they are? Why don't they buy one there? Why? How can they vet? The cost of sending the courier all the way from there to you to pick the bike up and take it all the way back, give you the money. There's nothing in it, is there?
I mean,
Vespa.
You what,
sorry,
mate?
That's where it raises alarm bells, mate.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, lads, I've got to get on with my work, so I want to say good night to everybody.
All right, Wiggy, great to see you, man.
Thank you, mate. Take it easy.
Hello, Wiggy.
No, mate.
Yeah, just one thing, Andy. We're gonna have to sort out some arrangements, mate, for we got the cop dog.
It's gonna go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cop case.
Yeah, I'll meet you up there at the Cob Dock anyway, because I'm going up early with my mate, because he's going to be a marshal. So I'll go up there with him and I'll meet you up there, mate. Then we've got plenty of time to talk about the rest.
Obviously, we checked out Biz's video, mate.
Why is it always marshals and no sheriffs?
He's interested in meeting us on the way down. Biz from Yorkshire.
Oh, yeah. Okay, mate. I'll talk to you on Sunday on that one.
All right, buddy. See you later.
See you later, mate.
All right, later, brother.
Yeah, that sounds like a scam to me. It's not like they're coming down from Scotland or somewhere more locally like that.
Yeah, I would be worried. I would be very worried. Actually, Jsoto77 responds, sold my car on eBay, got money transferred to my account with no issues. 8.5K, check with your bank if unsure. Yes, definitely. And I totally agree with what Skeggy said. If someone transfer the money and you see the transaction happen, move it immediately. Immediately, because they still have time to back out of the transaction. It doesn't happen instantaneously, and if it's not there, and they do that, someone just picked up your Vespa and kept their money, and you are shit out of luck.
I used to deal with backs an awful lot when I worked in online casinos, and I can tell you that it actually takes anywhere from 4 to 7 working days for a batch transfer to be completed.
Yeah. See, one thing that would worry me more than anything is with the, it's like we get a good deal on money when we go from one country to another. We get a good exchange on money. If they're buying from their country to our country, you're not getting such a good exchange on money.
Yeah.
So they're actually getting a worse deal anyway than they would do if they bought locally or even in a different European country or something. And you just think to yourself, well, why would you bother?
Yeah. Can't see the financial gain in that, Skeggy, of doing all that running around and whatever,
Actually paying somebody else to come and fetch it and,
I can see somebody in the States driving from New York to California to buy a car. If they're looking for a car that's rust-free, California's the place to go, right?
Yeah.
I can see that happening. It happened. I can see someone going down from Scotland to the southern Blatty sort of area, and because there's a really rare, unique, one-of-a-kind Vespa, no problem. But Hungary or Transylvania or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, why would you go to the UK? You go to Italy. It's much closer. And that's the country where Vespas are. They've got
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put 08 right off on that, but you know, I'm just to be careful. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's got to be careful.
If I wanted to bite that bad, though, seriously, if I wanted to bite that bad, I don't care where it is in the world, I would go there and check it over myself and then take it back with myself. I wouldn't send some courier from Slovenia to go and pick it up, so to say.
Precisely.
So there you go.
And 77 also says, yes, admittedly, I got paid a week before it got picked up. Again, check with your bank for clawbacks.
Yeah, but who's going to buy a bike looking at it? I mean, I wouldn't.
Some people do. Some people do, you know.
Yeah,
Some people are going for projects.
yeah, so I looked at my bike twice before I actually got it.
Well, I said this story the other week about when I bought the Harley. I bought that off eBay, and I did say to the guy, if I come down to where you are in Kent, and it ain't what you're saying, I ain't going to be happy, and you're not going to be happy because somebody's going to get hurt. And he said to me, look, come down, it's what I said it was. I got down there, and it was, you know, so... But if I'd have got there and that had been a pile of shit or I didn't like it, he wouldn't have got a fucking dime off me, you know. I'd just told him to get lost.
Yeah, and you could put your tank top on and sorted him out.
I'd have put my rapist vest on, yeah.
His best is rapist vest.
Yeah, I would have put that on, mate.
Yeah. Oh wait. Forgetting the fact that it's a Vespa, and I know that we've already had a discussion on mopeds, and I know you don't like my views on mopeds. But honestly, I think we've all pretty much covered the question there. Better to be safe than sorry, and it does look very shifty, mate. People who are desperate to make money off you are going to give you all kinds of assurances and promises, and it just becomes a bit.
I think it's just Chris. He's just put a reply on there.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm responding to.
All right, let me get to that. He says he's transferring sterling. He said it would take a few days for the money to go through the accounts. He's sending foreign couriers because they are much cheaper than Austrian. Vespa is top market in Austria, and my Vespa is unique and no longer made. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Just know, dude, we're not trying to turn you off. You're one of us, so we want to make sure we got you back. Yeah.
Just make sure. I mean, look, if you've got the money, yeah, it goes into account. Make sure the account, once the account that you use, obviously you empty it once you've got the money, so there's no money in there left. Okay, transfer it all out, and then once you've done that and you've got the money, then pick the bike up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'd also be a good idea to video the people that come and pick it up and ask them on video, who have you picked it up for?
Yes, that is a good one.
And make sure you've got a translator with you.
or a shotgun.
We have to send Ron Swux and Nickel over. He can do this Austrian. He can do this Austrian fucking stuff, so he'll be all right. They talk the same language, them old Germans.
Get one of these.
I tell you what, I'll double his offer just to get another moped off the road.
Just get yourself one of these. It's a universal translator.
Right.
All right, hold on. 08 Ride says, cheers, guys. Much appreciate the feedback. And issues to be wary of. He has 100% eBay background on thousands of products. Okay, so there you go. That's cool. But never hurts to be wary.
Just make sure you got the money before the bike goes.
There you go. Yeah. Alrighty, so we're going to say hello to Dave, who's just joined us, who in my UK1. What's going on, Dave?
Hi, Andy. How are you doing? Hi, Bobby. Thanks for letting me on.
Hey, sure, man. Glad to have you here. Oh, man. So we've been talking a bunch of crap, and I think after that, it's about time to get back to some serious topics.
Potatoes.
Yeah, like we do that.
Serious topics, what, like the price of potatoes?
Price potatoes. Yeah.
Potato. Chris brought up something that is making me think. Is making me think, and you're thinking Google is blocking some of the tools, or no, Chrome. Chrome is blocking some of the tools and functions that you need for Google Hangouts and stuff. And it just doesn't seem to make sense to us. So, Chris, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, bear with me a second. I'm just dropping my my connections and my bandwidth settings there because everything's coming in a bit grainy and a bit. Right, yeah. It's been going on for a while now, and they seem to be stepping up on their security. Basically, what they're calling it is a security thing, for our benefit and for our security, because we can't be trusted to, you know, download our own antivirus programs and keep them up to date. So they're doing it all for us,
Nice.
and blocking the extensions to the programs that we're using the proxy web browser for, including their own extensions, one of which is the Google Hangout. Now, when you go into your Gmail, if anyone has Gmail, you might have noticed a yellow bar across the top of your screen saying, this program is using an extension that will soon no longer be supported. So my question to the panel and to the people watching is, what is the point of Google blocking their own products?
Well, I must admit it doesn't affect me because I don't like Chrome. I use Firefox. I find it much better for me. I know other people have differences. Some people don't like it. They prefer Chrome. But for me, I don't have any problems with it, and I haven't used it, so I can't comment on that.
Yeah, well, I use Firefox. I use Chrome, and it's just nah, didn't like it.
See, I use Chrome, and it works better for me than just about anything else.
I like using Firefox, so I've got ad blocks for YouTube, so I get all the horrible advertising on it. I can block out all the advertising on YouTube because of using Firefox with the ad blocks.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I've had so many issues with crashes on Firefox. That when I went to Mac, I didn't even bother.
Is it just me, or does Von Schwarzenegger look like he's got physical Tourette's?
It's something to do with his camera or his PC. I don't know what, but
it's a little bit vibratory there, sir.
It's probably Firefox.
It's Hans Bart's not headroom.
You notice how I always keep my head extremely still.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, I
Yes, this bloody camera's got a bit wonky. It's all right.
It's not so much the camera angle, buddy. It's more like your juddering head. It's like you're in some sort of.
Well, that's Max Headroom, isn't it? It's from the 80s. So.
Got joined by Max Headroom, yeah.
Yeah, Max Headroom.
Yeah, you might want to update the software.
I'll just sit very still then.
You're all showing your age. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You got to do that.
That totally works. I'll tell you what, Oscar, you should definitely do some Max Headroom stuff. It'll work.
Do some.
Yeah, I think with this whole thing about Chrome blocking the extensions, I think it falls under the category that I was talking about before. It's just like stupid people do stupid things, and we all have to pay for it, you know. I'm pretty sure somebody wrote a patch or somebody did something dumb, and it got back to those people who supposedly run the platform, and they said, well, we're going to stop you from doing that by blocking everything that you could possibly ever want to use and making you miserable. Eventually they'll wake up. They'll definitely wake up. I mean, it's not going to last very long, especially once they see people starting to drop off.
Well, the thing is, for me, I use Chrome at the moment on a lot of stuff, and it seems to be okay at the moment. But any time it stops me doing what I want to do, then I'll choose another alternative. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, but that's exactly the thing, Andy. they haven't stopped it yet. They've been blocking certain extensions for the last year. I had an issue recently with a game that I play. I play Battlestar Galactica Online, and it's a web-based game rather than a download. And so I had to adjust my settings to be able to carry on playing it. And what the Google Chrome help section actually tells you is that this is just a temporary fix, and that with the release of the new version of Chrome, all these extensions, it's specifically the NPAPI extension, if that means anything to anyone, which is the extension that the Chrome or that the Google Hangouts currently use. So it just seems a bit odd to me that a company like Google are blocking the services that allow you to use their own product.
Well, likewise, I wouldn't understand why someone would cut their nose off to spite their face. So. Yeah. Don't know.
I mean, how much of Google's stuff works properly anyway?
It's a bit like Microsoft, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, but yeah, I don't think they really have a clue of what the people who are using their service truly want, because they're just not connected with us. They really aren't, and maybe it's a matter of us letting them know, hey, look, this is making a mess. You're doing something stupid. Stop. Yeah.
Well, the only thing that Google's done right now that's pissed me off is completely screw the comments now that I can't respond to my subscribers, and that's the only thing that's pissing me off at the moment.
You have a Gmail address.
Pardon?
You have a Gmail address.
I do, yeah, but it gets a lot. I get quite a few comments on many videos, and I can't keep track that way.
You really should be able to. Everything goes through Gmail, and I mean, I have no problem whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but sometimes I might get, you know, like 30 or 40 comments a day, and it's easier for me to do it in order on the comment area than it is for me to try and go to my email and then follow the link to the video that the comment was on, and then get to the comment finally, and then answer it, and then go back to my email. Oh, fuck.
See, I just go on my Gmail, scroll down to the, you know, say there's 99 emails, then I go to number 99, you know, and work up the list.
Yeah, I use the bell on YouTube. You know, the little bell symbol that comes up. That usually tells you you've got the same thing. And I do that. I click on that, and if I got more than one on one, it'll load up the screen.
I think the only thing that annoys me doing, I don't know whether it's doing that or actually on Google Plus itself, but it quite often doesn't tell you until like later, like they're all updated at once, and it comes through as a linked comment.
Yeah.
And sometimes, for some reason, you can't actually reply to them.
Yeah.
That's down to the person that made the comments privacy settings. Sometimes they, and it's that's quite frustrating as well when someone leaves a comment and it's, you know, you want to respond to it, but you can't because their privacy settings say that they don't want anyone to respond, and it's like
all you can do is thumb it up, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you can add a comment yourself onto your video, like you do when you make it in the first place, and you just name the person and say, "This is what I would like to say as a reply, but I can't reply to you."
That's what I do. I just put, for instance, you know, plus my UK one, and then write the comment.
Something else that YouTube seems to be doing at the moment is copying and pasting replies to comment. Watched the video the other day, and I'm sure that the answer was the same for everyone. I can't remember where that was now.
Oh, you're so funny.
Hilarious.
Oh, hold on a minute.
The bells. The bells.
They make me deaf, you know.
Yeah, no, I did that deliberately though, Chris, because I didn't want to sway to anyone in any way, whether they were on whatever side they're on or whatever.
I understand that, Andy. I know I know exactly why I did it, mate. I'm just taking the piss, don't worry.
You're just taking the piss.
Well, thanks for being honest, Chris. Next topic.
Well, the good thing about Andy is there's so much to take.
Ooh.
Hang on, I told you not to tell anyone about that.
Oh, sorry.
But he's just being honest.
Did anybody see
Yes,
the... Did that bloke get his nuts tattooed?
Oh, I saw that. Oh, God. Dude.
I was just like, really? You needed to send me that, right?
I thought I had to see you think, what
I just laugh at that.
What an idiot, eh?
It was the look on his face.
You must have got Stiffy Steven now.
I just want to know what he got tattooed. I don't want to see it. I just want to know.
I don't want to know. Stinky or something.
Smell this.
You got lefty tattooed on it.
If you can read this, you're too close to my asshole.
Handle with care.
Making nuts.
Fragile. It's Italian, I think. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Q&A is coming in nice and strong. Actually, we've got about 4 things in Q&A. Let's see. Misoto77 says, blocking some of the tools. We are still here and live, so it's not working very well. Haha. That works for me. He also says, the guy that bought... Okay, this is going back to the selling of the bike or whatever. The guy that bought it off me never looked at the car beforehand, just the pictures. I did find it strange, but strange things do happen. And he was a very pleasant guy as well. That was my experience. Let's see. I missed it. Okay, that was my experience anyways. Mind you, I did ask for his ID. So yeah, always have a way to CYA, which we all know is every rest. Let's see. Backroad Moto said tattoo is this side down. Nice.
You're not close enough.
He also says I use Chrome myself because I don't like the blockers, or I don't like ad blockers. I like to click ads on video. It supports the content creator. Alright. Yeah, I see. I don't put any ads on my video unless I have no way around it, because I'm not on YouTube to try to make money. So.
YouTube put them on anyway.
Google still put them on.
Even if you're not monetized, YouTube will still put ads on your videos.
No, you can cancel that. There's a way to cancel it. The thing is, they've been very sneaky about how they've done it. There's 2 options there, and you've got to disable them both.
Chris, you didn't half sound like a fucking Londoner then, mate.
Sorry, mate. I don't know if it's my connection or what, but it's all a bit shaky tonight.
No, you genuinely sounded like a fucking Londoner.
My name is Michael Kine.
Sound like a Southerner, mate.
You forget that I haven't lived in Gibraltar all my life.
I know, but a fair old while, mate.
Hey, look, I don't want to start anything, right? But you're starting to be a little bit
Turkish or something.
You know what I mean? Just
Get my fucking sword out.
yeah. No, you're fucking doors off.
You call that a sword? I got mine over there.
I had to use a small one because the big one just stuck up here somewhere. I'm like, nah, it's a bit too in your face, that one.
I've got a sword as well, so.
Yeah, I couldn't get my leg over the big one.
Yeah, mine's 4 foot long.
That's what she said. Oh, sorry.
Well, I've got a 6'2" longbow.
Nah.
I've got a bow. It's not a long bow. It's a 3-piece bow.
Actually, Ron, if you were still living in the UK, am I right? You're living in Germany, is that right?
No, it was London. That.
Right. If you were still living in the UK, it would be legal for you to use that There's a little
In fact, it's more that every weekend you have to practice your archery in case you're called for war.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I got.
You can't do it very well on a bike.
No.
You can. It does.
Let's take my favorite.
Cruise control.
It's my favorite.
It's a bit big for a bike.
That's birdies.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, fuck's sake. Now I'm going to have to get mine out.
Oh, God. It was going to
Chris,
No, don't get it out. Don't get it out.
Please, Chris, now, just your sword.
Get
Just
it
your
out.
sword. Just your sword.
Put your longbow away.
Going a bit far now, mate.
Oh dear. Don't make me get that collapsible walking stick out.
No, I enjoy the old archery. It's good stuff.
Now this is the one I used when some guy walked into my house unannounced, and I'm heading toward the front door.
A samurai. He katana.
He turned round and went the other direction rather fast.
Oh, well, no, he didn't move because the point was right on his neck.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, no.
My house. He was trying to get to an address that was around the block, and he just had the wrong street.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Oh!
Fucking hell.
He fell on his sword.
Alright. There we go.
Kamikaze.
Oh!
That's pretty cool looking.
Got to chop your fucking head off with, isn't it?
What's that, a scimitar?
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking. Mine is actually practical though. This will actually work.
It's got a saber.
Good saber.
I did say in the video you can always use a ball and chain.
Already got.
The wife's got that, yeah.
I got a pair of nail clippers somewhere.
Nice.
Put that in your nipples, it hurts.
Yeah, it does.
I got one more thing in the Q&A, and then we'll get to the next topic that I was mentioning before. So let's see. Backroad Moto. He says, I love it. I just sign into my Gmail, and it all syncs up on my devices. The bell, if you don't get it right, if you don't get it right away, I think it's the creator's fault. I could be wrong.
No, I agree with that. And the thing with the bell as well is, once you've looked at it, it disappears. You know, the actual thing just sort of, as soon as you click out of it, it's gone. And then it's like, oh right, well, where's that gone?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then you have to go down to the bottom and hit previously viewed comments and stuff like that. Then you can find it again.
Yeah, and then you've suddenly realised that instead of going out on the bike for a couple of days, you've actually spent 5 days looking for frigging comments using the fucking bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm judging by the fact that everybody's produced a sword is the fact that we're all geeks or.
Damn right.
Yeah, I know David hasn't produced one, but I know he's got one. So.
Yeah, well, I put a link to mine in chat so anybody who hasn't seen it before can have a quick look. But yes, I think it's we all ride bikes. So if we were back in history, we would all be riding horses and having jousts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Works for me. I still want to do a motorcycle joust.
I do.
No, you
I've got a jousting stick right here.
No, you don't. I've done a motorcycle joust, and it fucking hurts.
Look at Calm Biker. Look what you done to him.
Oh man.
Get this bad boy out. It's huge. It's still going.
Are you making your own Nerf ammunition so you get one over on Mrs. B?
Wait.
What you
No,
don't
that's-
realise is
One.
oh, that's just the standard Nerf gun bullet.
Yeah, B's got like up a notch on the Nerf darts.
That's his foam noodle again, isn't it?
Mr. B, this is my question. One side of that looks normal, and one side looks like it's been circumcised.
That's something to do with the kids. I don't know what they did. I think it was my little daughter. She like gnawed the end off.
Not really a noodle.
She's full of vicious, I tell you. There you go. Cheers, peace.
Oh man, no problem. Now we come to the topic of being honest, telling the truth, veracitude, and I totally think that we all could be a little bit more honest. I mean, if we were, we would admit to the fact that we are geeks rather than hiding it and just breaking out swords. So, since this was your topic, Mr. B, how about you expound on it for all of us crazy? Pick it up from there.
Okay. So, from not very often, but sometimes I'll put out a video that might cause a difference of opinion. But what I like, what I would prefer is that people are honest in their comments when they're coming back. The last thing I would do, let's say I did a wheelie down the road and there was people and kids on the side of the street and I was doing a wheelie down the road, I would totally expect the comments to say, "You're a dickhead, Mr. B. You're an knobhead. You're causing a danger to the public and all sorts of stuff." And that's what I'd expect. But obviously, there are certain people that don't find or don't have that about them where they can go and say what they really think, and they just go, "Oh, nice video," as opposed to "You could have killed somebody, you arsehole." And I prefer the latter, and I like to get that feedback, so that it gives me an opportunity to explain and get involved in that sort of stuff. And so, case in point was one of my recent videos where I was doing some filtering and a biker decided to try and block me, which I'm going to do a response video to because I can't respond in text because it just takes too long to try and get a point across and it'll be misconstrued and everything else. So there we go. But I did appreciate the fact that everyone was honest in their comments, and that therefore, that's kind of what I'm saying. Are you honest in your comments? Do you prefer people to be honest? I guess everyone's going to say yes, but I think that sometimes people just sort of like go, "Yeah, that was awesome," when they should have probably thought in the back of their head, actually, no, that wasn't awesome, and maybe they should say something different. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sorry, Andy, I did bring you some humble pie, but I ate it.
Well, it all really does depend on how you look at it, because some of the idiots that enjoy doing things like that will see it as a great video.
Yeah.
And the other ones will like some of us will know it's there for response, so we might just play you up rather than give you our true thoughts.
Go on, Skate.
I was going to say, put a comment like mine, tell him what you think, and then say, "But don't bite me head off in the hangout."
Your saving grace in that one, Andy, I think, was the title, where you called it "Was I Wrong?" And I think that was a very smooth move on your part, whether it was intentional or not.
It was an honest question.
No, but that's what I know. I don't mean smooth in a negative way. I mean it in a good way. I'm being honest. Rather than, "Yeah, look at me, look what I can do." Hey, you could have called that video looking, filtering like a boss and a knobhead in front of me or something like that. Check out this dickhead. You didn't. You said, "Was I wrong?" Because you had a second thought about it and you thought, "Well, maybe I was wrong, and let's see what everyone else thinks." Fair play to you. You open yourself up to criticism, knowingly that that there are a lot of trolls out there, and and that some of the comments are not favourable. Credit to you.
Yeah. I hadn't commented on that one yet, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, you go check it out later, Bobby, and be honest.
Are we talking about the video where you're acting like a dickhead?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
That's the one, like a boss.
Yeah, boss, dickhead like a boss.
You already know how I feel about people doing stupid shit.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I tell you, he's getting closer and closer to having a go at somebody. I told you this year he's going to have a go.
No, I did comment, didn't I? I said, "Tut, or how aggressive," or something like that. And I said, "Now I know how to wind you up." I think next time we're filtering, I'll get in front of you and go really slow for you. See if it really pisses you off.
How slow can you go?
Yeah.
About as slow as Keith.
Yep. Slow, steady.
Oh man, yeah, I've got to check out that video. So no spoilers.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just let me give you another example. Because I don't want to talk about that video because I want to do a response video. Because otherwise I'll be eked out into saying what I feel about and how the situation was. But for example, right? I'm not going to name the vlogger, but there are quite a few that have decided to take their mirrors off. For example, on all of their videos, I've said basically, you're a dick. Why are you taking your mirrors off? That's a stupid thing to do. There is no good reason why you would want to take your mirrors off so you have no rear view. But you know, other people say, "Oh yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it." It's like, really? I mean, come on, for fuck's sake.
In my defense, I did actually record a vlog today explaining why I currently have no mirrors and actually asking if anyone has any for sale. Please let me know.
Yeah.
Well, that's different, though, isn't it?
And everybody knows that I have to have my mirrors because I can't move my neck far enough around to look behind me when I'm doing these things. So I rely on my mirrors heavily.
Well, what's the advantage of not having mirrors?
Well, I don't want to turn this into a mirrors conversation, but obviously, if you look behind you, you're not looking in front. Okay, simple, right? But back to being honest.
More closer to the mark I would have said was there was a vlog from an American the other day going through one of these mountain roads, and this white SUV apparently cut him up. The way I saw that, he's doing like 55, 60, something like that, going into a corner where the marker says 25. And the way I looked at it, you could have easily said that the car driver was going faster than he thought that he could have gone round the road. So he pulled out so he could see what was coming at him, then pulled in and drove off as you would normally do, as if he was a bike, you know, as if he would done. And it would appear from the person behind him that you're blocking him. Now, the bloke did the right thing. He pulled in, and he just ranted and raved, and he spent 20 minutes before he went back on the bike again, so nobody was hurt or anything like that. But it's very subjective the way you look at it. If you can see both sides, then you quite often, it's not as bad as what you thought it was in the first place.
Yeah, and actually, that's a very good point, because I remember watching a video, and it's the same thing. I study, when anyone says close call or anything like that and actually bother to watch it, I'll study it to see. I like to see what happened and what the cause and effect was and everything else. And there was a video I watched, and it was in Europe, and this guy was going for a very close overtake on this car. Okay, and just as he was getting alongside the car swerved out. Like the car driver tried to knock him off the road. And he would have, if he'd have hit him, he would have knocked him square onto a 4x4 coming the other way, and the guy riding the bike would have been basically dead. Simple as that. And everyone's going, "Oh my God, stupid car driver," and all this. Like, so I thought, I'd analyse this. Why is this car driver suddenly swerved out? Looking back at the video, there's a massive hole in the road that the car driver has to avoid, and he swerves away from the hole in the road, and that's why it happened. And it's about checking before the overtake. So I said, look, mate, in actual fact, you're a dick because you didn't give yourself enough room to get around the car, and the car had to swerve a big hole in the road. So in actual fact, it's your fault, not the car driver.
You should have put yourself in that position in the first place.
Exactly. So there we go.
Well.
So, okay, so... People like to be honest when they're commenting on these videos, or they're just sucking up.
Yeah, sometimes the best thing you can say is.
I must admit, I do watch a lot of these bike crashes, and I do analyse them because it helps me to get better myself. It's when I originally first started watching the YouTube stuff was just after an accident I had. And I've been riding for many, many years, and I wanted to see if it was something I did or something I could look out for in the future. And the more and more...
Sorry, mate? Saying, David, you're a bit of a clumsy fucker, aren't you?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I'm just being honest.
I drink way too much, smoke too much. Oh, hang on a minute, that's not me, is it? I watch these things so that I can learn from it. And there's so many times you see, especially the Russian videos, you're going, why is he overtaking over two solid lines, going straight down, and you can see good 20 seconds sometimes before the crash happens what's going to happen, because you're looking ahead, you can see a junction, you can see cars stopping, and the very first thing when I'm behind somebody, I say to myself, why is he stopping? Not, I got no opportunity to overtake, but why is he stopping?
And that's the way it should be. Totally the way it should be. But sometimes you get that speed under you, and you don't really think.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I do like going a little quick. I mean, I took my bike to 43 today.
Steady.
Yeah. I would say it'd be 43 for half the speed.
And all that we know.
On a dual carriageway.
All that
40 miles quicker than Keith, though.
Oh, sod off. Sorry, who are you anyway? Oh dear.
All right.
I like this Keith.
What?
I say I like this new Keith.
Well, getting a bit aggressive.
Yeah. Keith.
I told you you're gonna blow sometime this year. I told you.
All right. So if you're going to be doing all that, if you're going to be going crazy and overtaking without looking and all that kind of craziness, doing wheelies in the middle of the road, what kind of luggage would you like to be carrying your body in once you're done? Do you prefer a soft coffin or a hard one? Or is that no? That's saddlebags or okay. There we go.
I think the ideal thing is that if you are going to ride like a complete cock, the best thing you should put on your feet are trainers, and make sure
the video don't pass.
Because the only time where I laugh so much, I have to pause to try and get some sort of breath back into my body, is when you see these videos like, oh, bike accident, and the first thing you see happen is a trainer just goes flying past, and you think, oh, yeah, that ankle's going to hurt, isn't it?
Trainers and jogging bottoms.
Yeah, no.
No, trainers thing, man. I just can't deal with that.
I've seen somebody riding sandals. That's true.
Yeah, I've seen somebody riding barefoot.
I think flip flops.
I saw somebody doing. I seen somebody take a pillion barefooted.
Wow.
She was sitting on the back, literally, bare feet. If she would have slipped off and hit that exhaust, I mean, no, come on.
Oh, just imagine that, someone's crusty feet touching your bike.
Yeah.
Get up, bitch!
Oh my god. Oh, no. Bare feet? Oh my, no. Just,
no.
But she was pillion, it wasn't a rise, it was feet, come on.
Yeah, but her feet still touching the pace, it's the bike. Get off.
I think going back to this honesty thing that we were talking about, I don't think anybody goes out of their way to upset another vlogger anyway. I don't. I wouldn't do it. If I watched the one with the guy who got cut up by the car on the mountain pass in America, and I watched it and I thought, fuck, he's going too fast. But the car was being a knob as well, I think. And what I done, I let my missus watch it, because she's one of these people who will never speed, never do anything fucking wrong in her life. And she watched it this morning and just went, they're both fucking idiots. And that was all she said, so she was honest. But I did reply to that bloke, and I did say to him that he'd done the right thing to pull over and calm down, because he was very, very fucking angry. And I think if they had stopped the guy, they probably, with his other mates, they'd have probably kicked the crap out of him, you know, because he was definitely going out of his way to fuck him over. But he was going too fast as well on the bike as well, definitely too fast for that road, you know. So, you know, they were both in the wrong, but two wrongs don't make a right. But being honest, being honest on YouTube, when I watched Andy's filtering vlog the other day, I just said something like, you know, sometimes you have to make allowances for other bikers who probably haven't still got the same skill level as you have, and you could tell that you've got more skill than he had. Mind you, he was on a cruiser and he had two big boxes on the back, bigger than my fucking wardrobes upstairs. And how he was trying to get through it, I thought he was freaking useless. But saying that, sometimes we have to make allowances for other bikers who might not have that skill level that we've got. You could go through there, Andy, 10 times quicker than that poor fucker on that bike. But sometimes you have to sit back and think, well, let him do his thing and I'll follow up behind him, because he can't do this as good as me. So, you know, sometimes you have to give people a little bit of allowance, you know, and a little bit of ease.
Yeah, I know. You're trying to draw me out into saying something about it, but I'm going to do it in response.
No, but you know where I'm coming from. If I'd have been where you was, and trust me, I can filter a lot quicker than that poor fucker, he would have frustrated me. There's no doubt about it. He would have frustrated me. And I might have gone so far and I might have bibbed him or something, but I would have just sat behind him and thought, let him get on with it. And I'm still making progress, and you know, he can't drive a bike as good as I can. You know, like some people can't drive cars as good as some of us, you know. So sometimes you have to give him a bit of ease. You know, and how frustrating it is, but that is the road, my boy.
Because I don't want to give away what I'm going to say in my response video.
Can you actually see where I'm coming from, Andy?
Oh no, I know where you're coming from,
yeah.
But what I will say is, I don't think that particular biker falls in the category that you were talking about.
He didn't look very good to me, actually. How he was going through that traffic, I thought he looked pretty bloody useless. You know.
Okay, that's your opinion. I think he did quite well with those mirrors being like millimeters apart, going through and pushing through non-stop.
I know.
But you know, that's my response video to come.
Yeah, I did handle it as well as I would have done.
Yeah, we'll be.
He would have frustrated the hell out of me. I know that. I'd have been pulling me bloody hair every time I got a fucking half a mile up the road behind him. But what can you do? You know, he's paying his tax.
Oh look! Just as we're talking about that particular video, another hater has arrived in the room.
What are you talking about? I'm already here.
Hey, how old is Triple XD? It's fucking black and white.
A blast from the past.
Got a little bit of hate on that video?
You're a bit quiet, mate.
Oh, alright, hold on.
I'm going to see if I can turn your sound up a little bit.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, it's great, mate.
Alright, cool. So you got a little bit of hate on that video, I take it?
Yeah, no. I'm looking forward to doing a response.
Okay. We don't look at it as hate, we look at it as honesty.
Yes, yeah, no, I appreciate all the honesty and all that. I love that stuff, you know. I love it when people say, yeah, you know what, that was shit. I think you were a dickhead. I'm fine with that. And I'm doing my response video on the whole thing.
All right. Well, let me respond to the video first before we do that, because I gotta get there. I need to catch up on watching people. I'm so far behind. All right, but we'll also hit the Q&A because there's a couple of cool things in here that really need to be mentioned. Back to the sword topic. J-Soto77 says the sword is cool, but can you peel potatoes with it? Yes, and I can peel the guy peeling potatoes with it.
Before you continue, can I just say about the honesty part?
Yep.
On Mr. B's hangout on Thursday night, did all you guys have to talk about me and be so honest?
Yes.
mind you, our honesty does get better after it goes off air.
Honesty meter goes up.
There you go.
Honest.
All right, let's see. Again with JSoto77, it says, just a bad chapter, Mr. B. I don't think many of us can be too pedantic about it, to be honest. Some skeletons are just best kept in the closet, though, in my honest opinion. And now the one that's going to make Chris Peach laugh. So 08 Ride says, so that was honesty on YouTube. Let's look at filter etiquette. If a moped, Peachy, lets a big fast Hayabusa pass filtering, but then the Busa gets stuck at a pinch point because of its size, would they let the small, nippy, maneuverable scooter back pass?
Would they fuck?
Whoa, hang on. Well, speaking as a Hayabusa rider, I will say, yes, I bloody would. I could also tell you that's never happened.
Back of the food chain, mate. That's what it would be.
By the time the pinch point disappears, the moped ride is probably still half a mile back.
As a former ZZR rider, which is almost as fat as a Hayabusa, yes, actually today when I finished work, I had my camera on my helmet just because I hadn't bothered to take it off, and I thought, sorry, it's a nice day, I'll shoot a video. It came out real sketchy, and it was all up and down. I've just decided not to edit it and not upload it. But for your sake, Owe, to answer that question, I might just upload a portion of it. At one point, I was sat in traffic behind a bus. The bus was so big it was taking up the whole of our lane, plus a small portion of the lane for the opposite flowing traffic. And I sat behind the bus because I couldn't see the path ahead was clear. And I got overtaken by about 20 mopeds. At which point a police van was coming down the other way, and it had to stop abruptly because there was no space for them to squeeze past. And I just thought to myself, do you know what? Had it not been someone who's trained to drive, that van could have been going a little bit quicker, could have been someone in a anything else really, and there would have been a massive carnage of pile-up of Suzuki Bergmans and Yamaha.
Lying sod, what you was actually thinking was fucking this up.
Get up!
Yeah, alright, I was thinking that as well, yeah. No, I'm not. I hate mopeds. I hate mopeds because they're dangerous. We've had another death this week, right? A 22-year-old lad went into a fucking a barrier, the central reservation, on one of the few main roads we've got in Jib, because he was being a dickhead, right? And I mean, I'll do a vlog on it. I've talked about the subject to death, and I know that me and 08 have sort of been at odds recently on the video that he posted, and I know that he doesn't agree with my perception of mopeds. But I'll say it for the sake of everyone, seeing as we're live. I don't have an issue with the riders. I have an issue with the machines. And it's not just the 50cc category, it's the 200cc's and the big fat T-Maxes. At the end of the day, if you're going along doing 70 on an automatic bike, as soon as you release that throttle and grab both the brakes, you are effectively in neutral, right? Because they have no gearing. And as soon as you release the throttle, you're back into what is effectively neutral. You have so little control over them, it is unreal. Then you've got the short wheelbase. Added to that the fact that particularly the 50cc's and 125s, they're aimed at kids, they're aimed at 17-year-old kids, right? And you can see that by the stupid fucking stickers and the advertising that comes with them, right? And those kids, I mean, in Jib at least anyways, they account for the highest death toll of motorbike accidents. The last time there was a serious fatality, including an actual motorbike, about 6-7 years ago, and yet mopeds there's about 3 or 4 deaths a year. So that's my issue with them.
Well,
do you think it's the machinery itself, or do you think that it's more having to do with the lacking education or the lacking responsibility with having more of a toy as opposed to?
Well, yeah, precisely. Well, that's what I mean when I'm talking about the advertising. You look at the way that they're packaged, and you look at the way that they're put together. Even the bigger 200, say the Bergman 200 cc's, they're nothing but a flimsy frame with two short stumpy wheels, a very short wheelbase, encased in massive amounts of plastic. By the time you cut off all that plastic fairing, I mean, there's nothing under them. There's nothing there at all. You know? It's
talking about ninjas.
No.
Oh.
Talking about nines actually. But yeah, that is my issue with them. It's part their design and part the way that they're advertised and the demographic that they're advertised to. It's nothing at all to do with the riders. My hatred is aimed purely at the machines and the way that they're advertised to people who's got a clue how to ride them.
Yeah, so because I work on the Suzuki place, so we put together these turdmans. The brakes on those are crap. And as you say, it's just a piece of plastic. They weigh a ton. The brakes are useless.
Yeah, they really are.
It's just plastic, and so there's little tiny wheels. Every little pothole you're going to be ending up in, twisting the steering wheel. It's just, it's terrible.
Yeah, no, that's precisely it. That is my argument against mopeds. And again, to answer OH's question, I did stop behind a bus because I couldn't see that the way was clear, and I thought if I can't see round that bus, I'm not going to risk trying to filter through, because if someone comes up, I'm going to be squashed. And then, like I said, about 20 mopeds went past me, and it could have been an accident. Yep. So yeah.
It reminds me of the when the infamous biker asked on Ocelot to do videos on our observations while we're driving, and how much we are actually thinking ahead and what we're doing. And if you'd asked a lot of these 17-year-old kids to do the same thing, they'd probably be thinking, I got my tea tonight, I got my game to play when I get home, and don't forget my Facebook and my phone and this, that, and the other, instead of what's in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it comes down to going, because a lot of us older riders had cars and bikes, so you can see from both angles.
Yeah.
So it's that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for a couple of years, I actually used to drive buses. So, yeah, that's a huge help. Huge help.
I'll tell you what, right now, what you need to do, Bobby, while everyone else is looking really glum, you need to bring up Jasutu77's comment, because
I'm totally going to get there. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Let's see. Jasutu77 says, I'm only considerate to Domino's mopeds because I don't like the thought of someone having cold pizza.
I tell you what, I used to work for Pizza Hut when I was a kid, and I'd run them around on my Aprilia RS50. I was the fastest delivery boy in the rock.
Nice. Alright, so says, wait, hold on, I'm being silly. Right says, sorry Pete, most scooters have brilliant engine braking, Italian ones anyway. Thrusters are steel, not plastic. Gib is different, and it is about the riders there. Okay, well, you guys can handle your business, and all that stuff and butt heads, but I'm going to say this. I just don't want to put my fat ass on a scooter. I don't care if it's plastic or steel. I just don't ever want to try to sit on one.
Bobby, you know what would happen if you sat on a scooter, don't you? You know that flimsy bit in the middle?
Yeah, I don't even think I'd have that much going on. I'd sit on it, find myself on the ground, wondering where the hell it went. I'd stand up and hear.
You wouldn't, you.
All I can say is that I think Lambretta are better than Vespers. There you go. Because I had a Lambretta, I had a Lambretta when I was 17, and I loved it, you know, and passed my test on it and everything. And I thought that was a brilliant bike. But I used to, when we used to go out in, you know, our little mod groups, anybody who had a Vespa, we used to look down at them because we thought they were second-class citizens if they hadn't got a Lambretta. But I still think Lambrettas are better looking as well.
Interestingly enough, though, Andy, 08, you'd actually have a Virago as well. So that's you know, three of us that have got something in common there.
Oh, right, yeah. I wouldn't slant scooter drivers at all, but I think a lot of it with these youngsters, it's called confidence of youth. They get on them, and I was the same. We've all been there. We've all been young, and we get our first bike, and we think we're the thickest, you know, the quickest thing on two fucking wheels, and we've got a little 50cc or 100cc, and we don't realise that what danger we're putting ourselves in. And luckily enough, the majority of us get through it, and we don't get killed. But unfortunately, one or two do. That is the problem.
Yeah, here in the States, we don't really have too much of a moped population. It's a lot of people don't even ride mopeds here, even in the bigger cities. And we still have like the younger, you know, 18-year-olds are high on the statistics list as far as fatalities go. So I mean, and oddly enough, one of the other groups that matches them is the over the age of 60 on the Harleys and such, the cruisers. They're almost equal as far as statistics go. So I think a lot of it comes down to confidence, the maturity level, and for like the over the age of 60, I think it comes down to physical strength versus 900-pound bikes.
Yeah. But on the older generation, sorry, Dad, on the older generation though, in the UK, what we suffer from is you've got your new riders who obviously don't have the experience, so they're going to be in an area of, you know, high casualty rates, and then there's the born-again bikers who rode maybe a bike when they were young, when they're 16, 17. Then they got a job, they got a car, they got a wife, they got a family, and they stop riding bikes, and then they think, you know, I'm going to get back into biking again, and they in that 60 bracket, you know, where they want to get back out on the bike. And they've lost all that experience, and you know, and life on a bike is totally different to life in a car in a cage. And bikes are so much faster than they were back in the day. You know, I mean, you know, I always think about the RDs that I used to ride and stuff, but that is nothing compared to the bikes that are out there now. They're so fast on acceleration and that. And what's happening is they're getting back on these bikes. They're born again, 60 plus, getting on a sports bike and just getting a world of trouble because they just don't realise how quickly these bikes go.
That's why, Andy, you see so many of them up for sale with a couple of days and miles on, because they bought them, got on them, shit themselves on them, realise it's too much for them, and you see them up for sale, 2,000 miles on the clock. Some old boy, he just can't handle it as easy as that, you know.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like the Spider. Yeah, it's not something I would normally like, but I like the idea of, you know, when you're older, still being able to go out and ride because you have two wheels up front, and more stability there. You know, less chances of falling off the bike, I guess. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I quite like the Spider, but I don't think of it as a motorbike. I think of it as a three-wheeler. You know, I put it in the same sort of category as like a quad. But it's a cool thing.
It's a reverse trike.
I mean, it's a motorcycle with three wheels as opposed to two. It handles differently, obviously, due to physics, but you're still getting the open wind experience.
Yeah, I think what needs to be out there for bikers, that the born again bikers, you know, the ones that go into retirement, decide that they want to get back on a bike again. There needs to be something in place to catch these people and just say, look, you know, things have changed. I don't like all the law and governance and stuff, but I think if someone goes and buys a bike and say, right, okay, when was the last time you rode a bike? Okay, well, when I was 16. Okay, so that was like 50 years ago or whatever. Yeah. So what you need to do before you can actually get on the bike is we're just going to put you through a little course, get you customized to the new bike that you've just bought before you go out on your own. But at the moment, there's nothing to stop people going out and buying a bike that has, you know, 150 plus brake horsepower when the last bike they rode had 12 horsepower. It's crazy that can happen.
I would say that that's one of the big flaws of the United States is that we think we're cooler because we don't have laws to to put us into certain bikes as a learner bike, like you guys have, that scale setup where you have to start off with a smaller bike. We have nothing like that. We'd rather celebrate the lack of law than ever ride on a small cylinder bike. And we'd rather die off of it. We'd rather have our statistics be crazy with fatalities. We don't care about the logic side, it seems. We just freedom of choice.
Tell you something I've always found interesting about the States is the fact that you're actually taught to drive in school. Now, I don't know what your statistics are for car crashes. I would imagine pretty high, but I don't really know. But I've always found it interesting with the taught to drive in school. If they employed a similar sort of policy with regards to motorbikes, you'd probably find you have a lot less accidents.
Mm.
Probably, yeah.
I must admit, I grew up going through the sizes. I started off with a 100, went to a 250, a 305, then a 350, and things like that. And you grow your skill when you do that, and you're not frightened of the bike. Because you learn to max the bikes, and then you go up to the next one. Whereas if I'd gone from a 125 to Z1300, which I could have at my time, I probably wouldn't be riding now.
Mm.
Well,
I've done that.
In the UK, they did create the in-between bike, which was like seen as the everyday bike, but it was underpowered. And I hate to say this, David, but it was the old XJ diversion.
Yeah.
It was basically, the engine was cut back a bit, weren't it? It was made more economical than sporty,
That's right. Yeah. And don't worry about my bike. I ride my bike because it was cheap.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. It was 450 quid off eBay, and not a problem with it. That's why I ride it. I could afford it at the time. If I could.
At the time it came out, it made the perfect bike for a born-again biker to get back onto, and you had that nice in-between step. And then when they stopped making that, they sort of went a bit mad, I mean, a friend of mine got killed on he passed his test. So it's not as though he's a born-again bike. He passed his test, went straight out, bought VMAX, and killed himself within 2 days of passing his test.
Yeah.
He realised that trees don't jump out of the way.
That's right.
Well, the EU laws kind of put a bit of a shitter on that, really, because like David rightly says, if you go up through the grades, then you're not scared of the bike. You're progressing slow. That's what I've been going for 15 years, and I started off in the 50, and I'm still only on 50 now. I had a big bikes and enjoy it, but they've done away with the 250 class in the licensing, really, because you take your test on a 125. The next thing you do is you take the test on a 600. There's no point getting them out.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm pleased somebody else did it. You were getting an echo off Andy.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I got that.
You got what I was saying, yeah?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
The 250 and sort of in between class of 300, even the 400 class is pointless now, because now under the EU laws, you've got to take your test on either a 125 or a 600, depending obviously if you qualify. So you what? Sorry?
Is it the same in gym?
Yes, mate. It's EU law, so it's the same here as it is in the UK.
Yeah. We've got to get out of that EU.
All right, I'm going to hit this Q&A for a second here because a couple of things that'll give us a chuckle. Gisoto77 says, a born-again rider managed to drop his bike, a GS500, during my time on the direct access at least twice. Fortunately, the bike was standing still.
Makes it easier.
But he also says, on a serious note, I nod at mopeds. Not a no-no nod. Oh well. We've all got to start somewhere, I suppose.
Oh, I nod at mopeds as well. I think most.
Yeah, sure. Today I actually got my first nod from a moped rider before I nodded at it.
See, the way I look at it, though, if you're on 2 wheels or 3 wheels, I will give you the respect for being on 2 wheels or 3 wheels. Doesn't matter if you're riding a moped or an Indian Roadmaster or a Harley Ultra or whatever. You're out there, you're riding, you're doing it. Now, I kind of agree that there are some machines that are just dangerous, by the very nature of their existence, dangerous. And if you've got a good rider on there, someone who knows what they're doing, obeys the laws, has the quick reflexes and the ability to keep themselves out of dangerous situations, it doesn't matter what they're riding. They're a good rider. But even a good rider has idiot moments. I was having them all day today. I was shifting like an idiot the entire day while I was out. So you never know what's going to happen. And with that, I actually was going to make a little joke at Chris Peach and say that I found his next bike.
Yeah, I saw that. That's not actually bad though. It's got a solid frame.
There you go. But then I figured if we were actually going to take a view outside your place, we'd probably find something a little more like this. Just got to mess with it a little bit.
Oh, God.
So we've got a few minutes to get into the final topic that was put down in terms of luggage on a bike. And since we haven't had a chance to really commune with the brother Triple X Deadhead, I think I'm going to bug him first just because I'm a jerk like that. So when it comes to luggage on your bike, if you're going to put luggage on your bike, do you prefer soft bags or hard bags?
Well, I just recently put on some hard bags, some Viking bags on my Sportster, and I like them. I like them a lot. I had some soft bags before, some leather ones. They kind of caused issues. They'd kind of move into areas. The sun would kind of bake them into, different positions. I really like having the hard fixed bags. Just makes the bike more practical. As long as they're not too big and you're still able to filter, A+ in my book.
All right, very cool. So we got the hard bags. Hard bags. See, I like soft bags, but I'll get to me later. Dave, what do you like?
Yeah, I must admit that it depends on the bike. It really does depend on the bike. You don't want soft bags on a cruiser unless it's leather bags, that kind of thing. But for me, I've got soft bags. I've got the textile ones for me. I find them more convenient because they're not on the bike all the time. So I've got to store them somewhere. And the fabric just folds into itself, and you can just put them in a cupboard somewhere, and they're out the way.
Now, I want to add, my bags are hard bags that are wrapped in leather, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds.
Nice.
So,
Alrighty. Mr. Von Swarzenata?
I probably will go for the soft bags, just for convenience, really. So, they've probably be on the bike once, twice a year, so I wouldn't get hard ones.
Alright. They like the hard bags. I'm not touching that one. I heard that, Andy.
We're all being very good at the moment.
Nothing like having an old bag on the back of your bike, I tell you. I've had one or two.
We've had a few old bags.
You're just waiting to see what Suffolk Andy's going to say.
Yeah.
With that vest on.
The raper's vest, yeah.
what else about that Harley Davidson cost me bag, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you missed it. We actually came up with studded leather Harley Davidson condoms.
Oh.
Harley's got to get on that. $100 a pack.
Yeah. They would be as well, Harley.
I think your Japanese going to think it's Jukaki or something.
Oh, man. All right. Suffolk Andy.
Well, when it comes to luggage on a bag, God.
You make her carry it, huh?
Yeah.
No, I'll figure that one.
Well, you always know when you've got a bag. I'm going to hate that. You always know when you've got a bag on you.
A bag with luggage.
I'm gonna fucking lost the will to live. Now, when that comes to luggage on bikes, when I first got my ZZR, it came with a full set of hard luggage, you know, top box and side luggage and everything. And I did go to France on it, and we filled them all up. But I found that they were stuck out so far that was ridiculous. So, and I just didn't like the look of them, so I just chucked them in the back of my garage, and they've been there about 7 or 8 years now. But I always use soft luggage. I just like the look of them. I just do, and like this, if I ever went out on this Harley anywhere, I just put soft luggage on it. I couldn't put hard luggage on it. I just couldn't. I think that's a cosmetic thing, you know, with me. I just don't like the look of them. You know, when I see that video of that guy Andy in front of you with them box things on, mate, I want to throw up. It's horrible. If you had, you know, some decent luggage on that bike, that would have looked okay, but it just looked ridiculous. So now I always go with soft luggage, and you know, if you're going to have a bag on the back there, you always know if that's a bad bag, because if you won't share it with your friends, you know there's something fucking wrong with it.
Are we talking about teabagging?
I don't really want to go down that road. No, I like soft luggage. As easy as that. Yeah. Don't like that.
All right, Yankee Cruiser.
I hate to say this after Andy's comment, but hard for me.
That suits your bike. It
Yeah,
suits your bike.
The high gloss black. I mean, it's give it a big fat black glass, but it's more custom with that. It's one of them things where it just. Stop laughing.
high gloss black bags.
It suits the bike. I had leather bags on, and I was sick and tired of getting.
Where are you going to get it, this one, I'll tell you.
Oh my God.
It's getting you fucking drowned in here, mate.
I had leather panniers on, and.
Leather fanny, was it?
No, panniers. I had leather panniers.
Leather fanny.
Luggage. What about luggage? Can I get away with luggage?
Yeah, let's talk about luggage.
I had soft leather luggage on at one time. Same as Triple XD. It's a bit fed up of them getting misshapen, so I went to the hard bag, to the hard luggage.
Misshapen.
All right, I've only got like 2 minutes left.
All misshapen panniers.
It's amazing how a simple subject turns us crazy.
Sorry,
What do you expect?
Killing me.
All right, I've only got like 2 minutes left to be on air because I gotta go and get my kids. So let's see, Keith, please.
I could say so much, but I'm going to refrain. I've only got some. Yeah, I've only got soft luggage, and I'm taking soft luggage on my tour of Ireland.
There's a pill for that.
Not bad.
All right, Mr. B, can you hold yourself together here?
Seriously, I use soft luggage on the Hayabusa because it just works, and hard luggage wouldn't work. And obviously, you can compact it away and store it for later. That's me being sensible.
Like a little doll.
All right. Hey, Chris, what about you?
I've got a set of Oxford soft panniers. Like David said earlier, they're great big. I said panniers. Come on, you can't laugh at panniers. Come on.
No,
It's better than a pair of bags, I must say.
Yeah, like David said, they fold into themselves. They're complete.
Okay.
You're supposed to drink.
Good night, everybody.
And on that note.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh my god. Actually, on that note, I should actually be getting out of here because it's time. Okay, so you got the soft luggage. And for me, I prefer the soft luggage because I tend to forget how much room I have in there and end up overstuffing it. Shut up, all of you.
Wait, you'd rather be overstuffed with soft? Doesn't sound right.
Oh, well, you know, sometimes you have those long trips and you're pushing rope in the bag. And, anyway, so it is time. I actually should have already been walking out the door. So I am going to hit the Q&A really super quickly. J Soto77 says, "Not Mr. B, then, Bobby." LOL. I know exactly what's out there. He says, "Got semi-hard on."
I was waiting for that.
We got
semi-hard on lunch.
we got knives like a fucking cesspit, I tell you.
Oh god. Swirls. Oh my god. I like soft throwovers, really. For the fact they can easily be removed, leaving no hard luggage for security. Easy to take off, but leaves the rack behind. Plus the new feel of clipping a car. Okay, and of course Dave's video is still up there. If you can...
That would hurt, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Oh man.
We're going to be able to
We hear the word rack or hard or soft, and we're like.
Truly, people watching at home, we are really not this childish. We are much worse. Okay, and if you're laughing at this, just remember, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 lefts do. So, with that, Reggie RR says, "You fuckers, you killed me." Soto77 has a big smiley face. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it through the entire panel to get everybody to say goodbye. So
Bye!
Yeah, I'm actually just going to...
Bye. Let's all just go bye.
Bye.
No more sack jokes.
See you next time.
These people are going to kill me, I swear. I'm about to have a heart stroke right now. So, thank you for watching. Remember to tune in on Thursday for Mr. and Mrs. B's Brain Dump and their Fully Loaded Hangout, and we'll be back again next Tuesday. Just remember, everybody, while you're out there, no matter how hard or soft your bag happens to be, ride safe. Bye. Good night.